Hi friends, Magus Supreme here coming at you guys with another reading. So for this reading, not only was this a viewer requested reading, but this was also a reading that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've just been waiting for the right time and quite frankly, and waiting until I had the energy to actually sit down and do this. But now's the time. I feel pumped, ready, and excited to get this reading out there. So for this reading, I will be taking a look at your star quality or qualities if there's multiple in here. But the energy of this reading will be looking at your star qualities and where and how do you shine. Um, this is a reading that like I've seen I think one other YouTuber, maybe another reader do it before, and I just really wanted to do this for myself. And when this was suggested to me it came up in a viewer request, and one of they actually had a few requests, but their list of requests, this was one of the readings that they requested. So I took it as the sign that it was and set this reading on my to-do list, and now I'm finally getting around to it. So, boom. The viewer who requested this reading was King of Aloha. This was one of the few readings he suggested and wanted to see my take on, and so I'm doing it. I have another viewer request that I will be tackling once I wrap my head around how I'm going to do it. So stay tuned for that eventually. But enough of my rambling. You guys didn't come here for that. Let's get into this pick a pile, this pile selection. So for pile selection, I have 4 different piles, and you're going to be looking at the star card of each of the piles and deciding which one resonates with you. So for pile 1, we have this star card. For pile 2, we have this star card. For pile 3, we have this star. For pile 4, we have this star. So take the time out, fast forward, rewind, do whatever it is that you got to do to really look at those cards, look at those piles, and figure out which one is going to be the right one for you. So without further ado, let's get into pile 1. So if you chose this star card, then this reading is for you. So let's put this one back in the deck just in case I want to shuffle or need to pull more cards. So pile 1, what is your star quality? And where and how do you shine? All right. So not all your reading is going to be on screen. I'm more so like the cards don't really like matter here. It's just more so the energy. But I will say this, the 2 cards that I pulled to like really allow me to encapsulate and get a feel for your qualities are the Prostitute and Queen. Prostitute says, accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. And the Queen radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. And right off the bat, when I first pulled those 2 cards together and got my initial impression of this pile, I got someone that was very independent, self-sufficient, and someone who really lives their life with integrity. And even if it's not integrity, it's more so just like I felt Queen of Swords energy, like someone who rather just like do things on their own. They'll take the time out to figure out what they need to figure out, and they'll do it by themselves. And funnily enough, the King of Swords did come out for this pile. So, Power One, one of your biggest traits, one of your biggest star qualities is that you are very independent, very self sufficient. And if there's something that you need to do or something that you need to achieve, you're not going to degrade yourself to achieve it. You're not going to resort to underhanded methods. You're not going to take the easy way out. You're not going to compromise your morals, your values, your body to achieve your goals or to achieve your ends. The Queen card says that you radiate the regal feminine. This is someone who holds themselves to a higher standard, someone who can see what it is that they want out of life and go after it with dignity. I keep hearing dignity and I keep hearing integrity. Like, those are two of the biggest things for you. You could be a person of really, really good and very refined character. You could also be what people will call bougie. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means that, you probably have a very noble spirit. Like, the regality of your spirit probably really jumps out. And I'm hearing that like very clearly. You could have a very noble spirit, especially with the Queen card out here. You could hold yourself and carry yourself to a higher standard than most of your peers and most of the people around you. Some of the other cards here to really annotate like where you shine and some of your other qualities. We have visions, protect your heart, stay back, and love. And one of the biggest things that I've seen out here, especially with protect your heart, stay back, visions, those three cards with visions, protect your heart, and stay back. Like I said, this is heavy Queen of Swords energy. This is definitely you, like being able to see people for who they are, having a vision, having a goal in mind, and being able to move towards it with wisdom and integrity, and with not negotiating your values and your beliefs. The stay back card talks a lot about like really recognizing snake energy, recognizing deception, and being able to push it back. Because I feel like you can see it coming. You know when someone isn't on the up and up, Power One. You know when someone isn't really who they say they are, what they're trying to be, or if they're really just trying to run a scam, a flim flam, hoodwink you. I could say that in so many ways. But you know when someone's energy is not on the up and up, Power One. I won't say that you're an empath, but you do probably have just enough intuition. Oh, you could be an empath. I forgot. You do have the High Priestess out here, especially with the Visions card. You could be someone that's actually very psychic or someone that's actually very connected to their spiritual guidance, Power One. I almost forgot. You do have the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands out here together. The two cards denoting, like, psychic, intrinsic, and spiritual power. And even with the Visions card out here, I almost didn't see that. I almost didn't see that, Power One. You guys could be very strong psychics, maybe tarot readers, light workers, could just be a witch, someone that could be someone that's like very connected to their spiritual guidance, or at least just very connected to their intuition. Either way, Power One, you know how to spot a phony, you know how to spot a fake, you know how to read negative energies very well. And that's one of the qualities that make you a star. Being able to make wise and intelligent and integral decisions, Power One. And making decisions and learning to cooperate and work with people who won't ask you to come out too far out of like your character. That won't ask you to like, I want to say bend over backwards, but every time I say bend over, I hear that in my head. I just keep thinking of like sex. Like, you really have a way of like warding off creepers. I really feel like maybe in the past, especially with the protect your heart card here, you probably and the silver bell with love, I really feel like maybe in the past you probably ended up being accosted by people who were kind of creepers. Maybe you dated someone who people would consider a creeper, someone that, wanted you to like really do, to just like, this is so hard for me to say because I really don't want to say it, but probably someone who expected sexual favors for like their materials, for their material, what do you call it? Not material comfort, for the materials that they provided, Power One. I really had a hard time with that, but because I just don't want to I don't like really getting delving into that stuff, but I'm gonna say it if it comes up. But you could have like been dealing with someone who I would call a creeper, someone who just withhold money, would do this or that, withhold like help or resources unless you do this thing for them, or you change this about yourself. Someone very controlling and egotistical, and I really see that energy did come up here with the tower, with the destruction, the release. Like there was a radical shift in your energy, pile one. But it all was leading up to you really coming into who you truly are, and to like this energy that I see reflected in your oracle cards here, of someone who can protect their heart, someone who doesn't compromise their morals and values, someone who trusts their intuition and what they see in their mind's eye, and someone who knows when to enforce very strong and strict boundaries against people whose energies might not be up to snuff. The silver bow here talks a lot about like love and but it's more so about having an open heart. One of the things about the Queen card is uses her benevolent authority to protect others, and I think that's really reflected here in the silver bow card. Because even though you probably went through a lot with people and you learned how to protect your heart and repel negative energy, you still are someone who is very loving, very kind, someone who does like reach out to help others. Like if you got it and you can spirit and if you want to spirit, you can really come out and help other people. Yes. You could be a boss at your work, or you could really be making moves to become like your own boss or anything of that nature, Power One. But if that's something that you really want for yourself, just know that you'll be able to achieve it. You have the power, you have the drive to do it, you have the intelligence to do it. You can do it. The funny thing is, as soon as I said power and drive, I look down and I see the King of Swords right here, which has ambition, power, and influence written on it. Ambition, power, and influence. And it's literally right here, smack dab in the center of your reading. To me, the King of Swords is very much like what I would consider a traditional king, someone who someone who actually knows how to make like the tough decisions when they need to, especially with the stay back and protect your heart card. Someone who knows how to make the tough decisions when they need to. Someone with a vision, a plan, an idea that they're really striving for and wanting to achieve a goal. And you are someone like that, Power One. Very goal oriented. Yeah, this is your star quality. Very goal oriented and someone who sets out to achieve something and gets it done. I see that here with the Three of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles here, Power One. That when it's something that you want to achieve, even if you got to go and do it alone, you get it done. Especially since we have the Ace of Swords here as well with success. So success, change, decisions, and action. When it's something that you want done, you do it. And what's funny here is the repeating card, because on the Three of Wands we have action, and on the Ace of Swords we have the word of action as well. You are someone who gets up and do, Power One. You're not going to wait for someone to come in and do for you. If you've done that before, then you've learned your lesson around that. I really feel like you learned your lesson about having depended on other people to do for you. Now you really know that you have to go up and do things yourself. But I really feel like one of the things that's really coming out here for you, Power One, is to know what people you can let in. Don't let your past experiences like really turn you into someone who thinks that they have to carry the world on their shoulders alone. There is help out here for you. There are people who are actually good. People who won't ask you to change who you are, to compromise your morals, your values, and to like really be flexible on your ideals. There's people out here who are willing to help you and support you as you are, Power One. And I really feel like with the silver bow card, because one of the things is about opening your heart, raising your vibrations to allow yourself to feel the energy of love, the beautiful energy of light. I'm hearing something about heart chakra and having opening up your heart chakra, having an open heart chakra, Power One. And I really feel like that's something that's really, really important for you. And this will only add to your star quality. Not only being someone who's went through this stuff and learned how to like really be more self-sufficient, more goal-driven and like action oriented and accomplished, but also still having a kind and generous heart. I really feel like if this isn't you, Pile One, a lot of people will be self-serving and say, "Oh, I'm generous, I give," but be really real with yourself. Are you really giving? Do you volunteer? Do you stop to help strangers? Like, have you given to a homeless person? Like, opening yourself up to like really helping people who's really been in the same situation as you, or just really just like reaching down to pull someone else up, or to like offer your time to you to levy your resources to help others. That's something that's really being asked of you, Power One. And I really think that if that's something that you give your energy to, whether it's just like your resources, your time, or even just some tender love and care, Power One, doing stuff like that is only going to cause you to shine even more. And I really feel like if you don't really feel like this is your energy, you can start by going out and serving and helping others. Because that's exactly what the Queen card is. It says here, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. And that's something that's really, really strong here. But since this is your star quality, we're going to rock with the fact that this is something that you already do, Power One. This is something that you already know. You could take this energy and, just be strengthened by it. You are very generous, very intuitively guided, very ambitious, and successful person, Power One. And those are just some of the few things that's really embodying your star quality here. Let me get some more oracle cards around your energy as well. Ooh, shucks. I've been doing this a lot lately, just dropping cards. All right, let's see. What we got here for Power One? Yeah. First card that we had was denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replaced it with insight and awareness. And one of the beautiful things here is that you do have the High Priestess and the Vision cards, which speaks of awareness and insight. Like I said, Power One, like some of you guys probably were people who were backstabbed, who were asked to negotiate themselves, or to like really been put into like really compromising situations. Really tense situations. But one of the biggest things that I feel like some of you guys have done that contributed to your star power is releasing those experiences. I'm sorry, I just seen something out the corner of my eye. Is releasing those experiences, Power One, letting them go and learning the lesson, becoming more enlightened and strengthened from them, and getting rid of the fear around opening your heart, about letting other people in, and becoming more wise about how to protect your heart and how to keep out and how to trust your intuition to keep out those kinds of people. You replaced your fear with insight, and now you're opened up to the energy of friendship. Like I said, there's an energy here of a part of your star quality being like the fact that you, Power One, that you are a good friend. You probably help people out in so many different ways. The friendship says, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. You could be in the middle of like helping out someone that's a friend, like, lending them a place to stay, providing them with resources with the queen, like, I'm seeing like a social worker, like someone that just like was helping like their friend if they're homeless, like leading them to different resources and things of that nature. I see that for you, Power One. I see you as that kind of person, someone who gives. But the energy of friendship to me works hand in hand with the silver bow about opening your heart up to friends. Like I said, you might feel like that you have to carry this burden and like really just like your success is going to come off your back and your back alone. But the universe is here like, no, let me help. They're going to send people being sent your way, Power One, to really help you and assist you with your goals and to hit the pinnacles that you plan to reach. Only thing you got to do is keep your energy open to that. And I really feel like you guys have learned your lesson around this stuff. You are really allowing yourself to experience life with an open heart. I feel that strongly. And then finally, the last card that we have here is blame. I accept responsibility for my well being. And I remember seeing something earlier in the reading about possibly dealing with someone who was asking you to do things strange, might even ask you to do some strange things for some change, or withholding resources and money. You've learned to be more self sufficient, independent, and to take your actions with integrity and to not compromise yourself for money. And that's what this blame card is talking about. You accept responsibility for your well being. That's something that you've done, pile one, and it's something that you're going to continue to do. I'm gonna grab some more tarot cards to end your reading, pile two. I'm pile one, and then I'll move on to pile two. So let's see. This one doesn't want to shuffle. King of Pentacles, reliable, visionary, generous. That the fact that to me the King of Pentacles is the generous king. It is the person that gives of their time, their resources, their wisdom. I'm feeling that for you, pile one. Like you guys probably are very, very. Wow. Okay. You guys probably are very giving, very kind people. People who will give up their time, their money, and their energy. If that's you, pile one, keep that energy. That's your greatest strength. Look who wanted to jump out. The Empress. Come on. The Queen. The Queen. The Queen of Queens. This is such a beautiful reading, pile one. It's about luxury, beauty, harmony, abundance, grace, fertility, love, nature, beauty, and art. The Empress has so many things ascribed to her here, like all encompassing and so many things at once. And this is you, pile one. All encompassing and so many things at once. One of the biggest things that's really sticking out here is the matching love. Like I said, it's really meant for you to be not only an abundant person, but to use your abundance, to use the things that you get blessed with, that you strive for and achieve, your wisdom, your experience, your resources, and use it to help others and to pay that energy forward. That's the whole reason why you went through the things that you went through, to gain this insight, to gain this wisdom, this enlightenment, to go through these tower moments, to not only become more enlightened, but to see what that energy is like, experience it for yourself, to live through it, and then to transmute and release that energy so you can go and help other people go through the same process. The universe functions on love. It functions on kind acts and those I'm hearing like it's a cycle of kindness. Like that pay it forward thing is a really big thing in your reading. If you've been really blessed with finances, really blessed with comfort and stability in your life, look for ways to pay it forward. You're only going to garner yourself more recognition, more blessings, and a more beautiful and fulfilling life when you give back to other people and you recognize where you came from, what you've done, and take that energy of love, take your abundance, take the things that you've earned for yourself, and to pay it forward and to give back to other people, pile one. So if this reading resonated with you, pile one, please leave a like or a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And the links to support my channel are always in the description box. Thank you and be blessed. Bye. On the islands of Waikiki. If you chose the star card, if you chose pile 2, then this reading is for you. Of course, you chose the star card. They were all stars, but if you chose this one, this pile's for you. So let's get into your cards, pile 2. Let's put this back just in case it wants to show up. Let's get into the energy here. What you got, what you got, what you got. Let's see it. See it. What y'all got here? What you doing? Who you is? Pile 2. Who is you? Who is you? Let me stop playing before y'all think I'm crazy. I was doing it like this, so we'll keep it that way. I want it to be pretty, but there's no need to be pretty. You guys can't see the spread. I really only show the spreads when it's like, something that I created. All right, so pile 2. The energy of your star qualities are embodied by the Messiah and the bully. The Messiah says serving humanity with humility, and the bully highlights your tendency to intimidate others and helps you confront the inner fears that bullies you. Pile 2. Right off the bat, your energy is very powerful. Your energy is very powerful, and people feel you on a very deep level. You have a very deep and strong magnetism, a very strong energy that radiates from you. And the fact that you have a Scorpio card here is like one of the things that's really, really telling me, but I'll get into that. Like, your energy is very strong and very mysterious. A lot of people you really might intimidate other people and they don't know why. It's just something about you that they're just like, wait, what is with this person? I feel uneasy. I feel like this person can see through me. I feel like I can't get over on this person. I feel like they know. That's all I hear is they know. There's something about your energy, pile 2, that puts people on edge. But I'm hearing here like you're actually a sweetheart. You're actually a very kind, loving, and helpful person, pile 2. But I really feel like people get the wrong impression of you pretty often. Okay. People get the wrong impression of you pretty often, pile 2. Even though you're here to help, you're here to serve, and you really want to help other people, you just can't help but intimidate probably can't help but intimidate a lot of the people that you might want to help, or just intimidate people in general. But the thing is, though, with the bully card, it helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. And I feel like that's something that you do with other people as well. Like, pile 2, I get the strong sense that you guys might really have like a huge desire, a need, or maybe even a purpose to help other people see themselves for who they are, to allow them to reflect, to really hold a mirror to them. Because I'm really seeing that with the moon card here that came out for your reading. The fact that you might really reflect people, their deepest traumas, their deepest fears, and allow them to face it and confront it. You tell people, you might be that person that tells your friends what they might not want to hear, but what they need to hear to get better. Because one of the things that I have found with just doing tarot and like really becoming more interactive with other people in this kind of work is that people always seek and run for encouragement. They always seek and run for guidance, but they never really want to change. People want to hear that they're okay as they are, but never really want to hear that you have to change. It's time to grow. You are that person, pile 2, that really reflects like, this needs to change. You need to do this to grow. You're that person that really tells people not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. And oftentimes that can really intimidate and scare other people because you see their darkness. You see who they are, pile 2. And I don't feel like you judge them for it because I don't see judgment out here. I see the death card. I see the world card. The fact that you want people to change, to be reborn, to grow, to shift. put an end to cycles and start new and healthy ones, pile 2. This is your star quality. The fact that you are such a deep and powerful and intuitive empath, spirit, individual out here. You're really here to help people shift and grow. To help people shift and grow. I feel that very strongly, pile 2. You're here to help people. And that's where your star quality is going to lie. But the fact is, pile 2, people are going to be scared of you. People are going to be intimidated by you. It's more like a natural response. If they're not scared or intimidated, then some people might just try to flock to your feet to try to appease you, to throw you off their scent. That's something that can tend to happen. Just people throwing flattery and praise at you. It's because you intimidate them in some way. They can't help but try to deflect. But moving on, pile 2, some of your other qualities here, we have the Temple of Mary, which speaks of emotional expression, playful innocence, and exploitation. When I pulled that card, I didn't really know too much about it. I meant to read it, but I didn't. So I'm going to read it to you guys. I feel like that might be a thing that I have to do here with the Temple of Mary card, just to see what I can get from it. An organ of deep knowledge and wisdom, your heart links your consciousness and soul as one being. Receiving this divine love can be an intense and heart-awakening experience. This divine expansion communicates these interactions via your heart feeling its emotional expression. This divine expansion communicates these interactions via your heart's feeling its emotional expression. Okay. It's essential to give and receive love fully, whatever. The Temple of Mary is guarded fiercely. Those that choose to enter must be ready to free their heart from love restrictions. With humility, coming up again, pile 2, with humility and grace, the Divine Mother can help you identify any wounds connected to mother figures with loving support. She inspires your soul to love deeper and surrender to the innocence of your inner child. Reciting on the 5th ray of healing, the Divine Mother Mary assists the children of earth to evolve their heart to free individuals from emotional pain and burden. Fears. Deep fears. If unconditional love wasn't given to you as a child, it may be difficult to accept who you are and others without condition. Left unhealed, these wounds affect future relationships and acceptance of love, leaving your generous heart open to exploitation. Divine Mother Mary asks you to be receptive and expanding into new levels of love. Get the tissues ready. Goodbyes will seem to last forever, and empathetic connections will bring newfound friends. Long-distance travel, relationship issues, and natural life transitions will also influence friendships and relationships. I release my personal prejudice. I accept others the way I accept myself. This is one of the beautiful things that you had to learn, pile 2. And facing yourself and facing your fears, I really feel like you guys, you could have Scorpio placements. That could be exactly why this is here. You can have pretty well aspected Scorpio placements or very prominent Scorpio placements. Scorpio Pluto. Your 8th house could be highlighted, which does bring its fair share of traumas and issues. You can also have a challenged 4th house, since this brings up the issue of parents. Your 4th house can also be very challenged as well. But either way, some of your star quality comes from the fact that you've been willing to do this inner work, pile 2, especially since we have the bully card here, which helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. You've done this inner work, pile 2. I really feel like you're a secure, strong person on a very deep and intuitive and spiritual level, pile 2. You are assured of your identity, especially with the Scorpio and the Dignified card coming out together. Your Scorpio energy is very secure. It's your strength. You could be Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Pluto, maybe even a Scorpio rising, especially since Scorpio energy tends to intimidate. And if you give off that mysterious vibe to people, that's definitely a Scorpio rising thing. But Scorpio is being highlighted here not only as a sign of an energy, but also it might be in your natal chart. as well, pile 2, if you pick this pile. It doesn't have to be, but there's a good chance that it might be. You are very secure on with who you are on the inside, pile 2, because you've done this inner child work. You've done this healing work around your relationships with other people, around having to parent yourself, about face your inner fears, around relationships and like who you are in relations to other people. You've intimidated people for a very long time. And I can tell, like when you were younger, pile 2, this probably caused you a great deal of pain. You didn't know why people treated you the way that they did. You probably always thought that something was wrong with you. But you've done the work, you healed those wounds, and now you're ready to shine as a beautiful and bright star. This healing could have been completed or initiated around the age of 25. But one of the other things that I'm hearing for you, pile 2, is that you have a very strong and intrinsic connection to the moon, especially since it showed up here. And it's even on this. Is that Pluto or the moon? I don't know. To me, it looks like the moon, but it could be Pluto. But I'm gonna call it the moon for the sake of this reading. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I see the moon in this Scorpio card, and here we have the moonlight and the moon thing. You have a very strong and intrinsic connection to the moon. The moon is mystery. It's the very deepest and the most deep and connected part of yourself, because the moon rules the 4th house, which is about your mother, but it's also about like your home, and not only like your home in like the physical sense, but like your home, like your spirit inside your vessel, your home. This is like a very deep thing. The 4th house is very deep, and you have a very strong connection to the cycles of the moon, pile 4. So one of the biggest things that can really help you enhance your star quality and how you can shine more is you can tap into the energy of the lunar cycles, whether the moon is waxing, waning, full, or new, or super. Pay attention to lunar cycles, and if you pay attention and like kind of, if you don't do this already, and journal your experiences during the moon cycles, you'll really see different things. Like when the moon is like waxing in Gemini, you might really have an increase in social like interactions. You might start receiving more text messages. You might be feeling more social, more things of that nature. If it's like waning in Pisces, you might really withdraw more, become more meditative, more reflective. Pay attention to that stuff. The moon cycles affect you more deeply than you know, pile 2. And you can really work with the cycles of the moon to really see when it's time for you to push forward on goals, or when it's time for you to withdraw and relax and retreat. That's really going to help lend itself to your to your star quality. And finally, we have the 3rd eye activation. Again, pile 2, you see into other people. You see into yourself. You see. I feel like you guys know what that means. You see. That's all I'm going to say on that. Getting into your tarot cards, you have the Death, the Queen of Cups, the Sun card, the 8 of Cups, the World, 6 of Pentacles, and the Moon. Again, with the 6 of Pentacles being right under the Sun, this is highlighting your generosity. And it was even highlighted in the Mother Mary card. You guys could have been very prone to giving to people, to helping. And like I said in the past, other people probably took advantage of that, because you do have the Messiah card here. You are very kind, helpful, and selfless people. You probably was the type of kid that will like really give the shirt off your back, or give your last dollar, or even just like give to a homeless person, give your last dollar and things of that nature. You are just that kind of person, pile 2. And you really had to learn how to like really be a little bit more wise with your kind and giving heart, especially with the 8 of Cups here. You had to learn when to walk away, when to detach that kindness, when to detach your heart, detach your generosity, and learn how to really put an end to people and cycles, and your cycles with people, pile 2. One of the things about the sun, I really wanted to refrain from saying this, but Pal too, you could be very blessed in your life. The fact that you have the Mother Mary card here means that you are very much looked over. Uh, I don't want it to be too spiritual, but you are very much looked over and looked after, Pal, too. And this can lend itself to your star quality. Like, you are someone who is very powerful, very strong on a very magnetic level. Your looks might not, your look might not show it, but even people who aren't very sensitive to energy, they know, they feel you. They see you, Pal, too. They know that you're not someone that they can get over on anymore. They probably seen it in the beginning, but people know. Everyone has a very strong sense for energy, whether they're conscious of it or not. That's my personal belief anyway. Everyone feels energy. They just don't know that they're feeling it. They don't understand why they're acting the way that they act. And that's something that could have been very true for you. People just didn't like you or just got like a vibe from you, like, ugh. But it's because you intimidate them. Your spirit is very powerful, very magnetic. And with the Messiah card here and the Mother Mary, very divine. Because the Messiah, and at least Christianity, was Jesus, and his mother is here, Mary. Like, looking over her baby, looking over her child. Anyway, Paul, too. Very strong energy here of someone who's here to give, to help, to serve, and to like really reflect to people where they could be better and how they can change. So let's get some more oracle cards for your reading, Pile 2. Okay. I felt guided to pull this out. To pull these three. Because they just flopped right out. Abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. And that has a lot to do with the fact that you really undergone very deep and spiritual growth in your life, Pal, too. If you haven't done that, then this might not be your pal, because that energy is very, very palpable here. We have a third eye activation, the Temple of Mary card, speaking of like going through inner work, inner child healing, which very spiritual people do. That's like one of the first things that we do. It's one of the first things that I've done is really start that inner child work and continually built upon it over the years. But yeah, you are a limitless being. You can manifest whatever you desire into this reality. Believe that, Pal, too. You are very, like I said, blessed. And it's coming out in the abundance card. These three cards flipped out very strongly. I'm going to read the other two to you, but abundance is here. You are limitless. You can bring whatever you want by working with the cycles of the moon, Pal, too. Take that hint. The next card that you had is courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. And then here we have, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Two things about facing and acknowledging your fear. And that's something that you really had to do. Because the bully card speaks of, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. You guys are shadow work masters here, Pal, too, especially with the Scorpio energy being dignified here. Scorpio is the sign of shadow work because it's ruled by Pluto, also ruled by Mars, but modern astrology is ruled by Pluto, which is the planet of transformation, of death, rebirth, and change. You guys have faced yourself on a very deep and emotional soul level here. You guys have went through it, found your light, walked away from all the things that used to bind you in the past, the fear, the denial, and you've closed out that cycle and began a brand new cycle. And because of that, you're going to be given to very generously. You tapped into newfound strong spiritual energy inside yourself with that abundance card. You guys are very brave people. Like I said, when I really went on that rant, a lot of people always flock to these kinds of readings for encouragement. They always flock to these readings to like really be reassured in their own ways, but no one really comes to like really see how they can change, how they can grow. But you do, Pal, too. You want to grow. You want to change and you want to be better and not just be encouraged in your ways. And that's powerful. That's wise. That's that's true wisdom. You've seen the fear that was inside of you and you acknowledged it. And you've got to the roots of why it was there. Very Scorpio, very Plutonian energy. You got to the roots of why it was there and you transmuted that energy and now you are aware of it. So let's leave. I'm going to pull 2 more tarot cards for you, pile 2, and then we'll end your reading there. So let's see what we got for you. Wow, this one just doesn't want to shuffle, huh? Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups, and the 6 of Swords. I feel like this is a prediction for you, pile 2. With all the work that you've done and the fact that you guys are really, with this reading, you really came to understand a big portion of your star quality. You're able to really move on past like your fears. Really, I feel like this is a promise. I can't escape it. I can't explain it any other way, pile 2. This is a promise that you really closed out a very strong and intense cycle in your life, pile 2. And one of the biggest things about you is that you need to know what your star quality is, what your that your power, your quality is so intrinsic, it's often understated, and it might not always be recognized. It won't be recognized by people who are of low consciousness, but it's going to be felt by everyone regardless of their consciousness. Your star quality is not something that people can see with their 2 eyes. Your star quality is something that they have to see on a very deep and spiritual level. And not too many people are at that level, pile 2, where they can see exactly who you are. You are shrouded in mystery. And because you've done this work and you've come to know who you are, you found your power. You found that light, that sun energy that's inside of you. You radiate it now. It's there. You have a glow in your aura, a glow in your energy, pile 2, and people can't deny it. And this is a promise that you won't be going back to the cycle that you knew, to how your life once was. There's prosperity here for you, independence, financial stability, especially with the abundance card here. Anything that you manifest and anything that you really work on and sow the seeds for, you will reap, pile 2. This is something that's really being promised to you. This is part of your start for discovering your star quality, pile 2. This is a pile who had to work really hard to see who they are. Yeah, this is energy that's coming at you fast. This is energy that's coming at you fast. We got the 6 of Swords, the 8 of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Fool, and the 10 of Cups. You are promised a beautiful life because you have such a kind, true, and pure heart. You are a very humble person. You're here to help. And even though you might always be misconstrued, people may get you chopped and screwed and not really understand you too well, pile 2. Just know that you're going to start meeting people who do understand you, who do get you, who do love you, and will celebrate you. You will have friends who see you. Even if they're not really spiritual, they'll come to recognize the value that you bring in their lives, the value that a lot of people tend to overlook inside of you. You will come into people who will see that. And this transition is something that's is happening for you very soon and very quickly, pile 2. Just get ready for a brand new and inspired beginning. And it might even be a soulmate and a counterpart coming your way. The fact that you've discovered your quality, you finished and completed a very tough cycle in your life and came to learn your true star quality, your true essence of who you are and your energy. You're bringing in new and abundant energy into your life, not only with money and fiscal matters, but also with love and energetic matters as well. You're going to be walking into a brand new life for yourself, pile 2, because you discovered your star quality, because you started walking in it, because you started living it. Happiness is yours. It's going to be yours. And like I said before, when I first pulled like the first 3 cards, before I even seen the rest, that this was a promise. So that's your reading, pile 2. If this resonated with you, please leave a like or a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. The links to support my channel, if you guys want to support my channel in any way, the links to do so are in the description box. Thank you and be blessed. Peace. If you guys chose this star card, pile 3, then this reading is for you. So let's put this in the deck, just in case it wants to come out again. Now let's see what your star quality is, pile 3, and how you can embody them and how you can let it shine. Pile 3, your pile was, I think, like the only pile that I've actually like heard a message come through for. It's not just a message, it was a name and a figure. While I was pulling your cards and I pulled the energies for you, the first thing I heard was Joan of Arc. And then when I was really reading her, I heard about Mulan. Like, there's something about you taking a stand, fighting for something that you believe in, something worth fighting for. This could be about your country. This could be about a belief that you have, something, most likely a belief, or really standing up against conflict. This could be conflict both inner and also outer, but I really feel like this is a lot of inner conflict, like really donning your armor, standing up and like fighting. One of the biggest things that I've been seeing in your pile and in your energy, in your cards and in your energy pile 3, is that there has been a lot of tension between you and other people. You wanting to be someone that other people are trying to impose upon you. Other people trying to limit you and put you in a box, and you having to free yourself from that box. That's why I was hearing Joan of Arc at first. She was a peasant, a maiden, who put on male armor, pretended to be a guy, and, well, I don't think she pretended to be a guy, but she dressed like a man. That's eventually why she was burned at the stake for. But she had a very I guess I'm required to say this. She had a strong and divine connection. She felt a calling in her heart to come out of like who she'd been boxed in to be, to not just be a peasant, but to be a commander, a warrior, a fighter for something that she believed in, the defense of her country. And I really feel that energy with you guys as well. Your star quality, and I really feel like some of you guys maybe haven't stepped into this energy yet, or maybe you are, but there's going to be something that you guys stand up and do. This is the only power where I feel like you guys might actually end up becoming known for something. I really feel like this pile might actually end up being like actual stars, or like actual stars, and like, actual people who's going to be seen, because there's a lot of conflict in your pile. And I know that conflict isn't there for just any old reason. The fact that there's a lot of conflict here means that there's something that you're meant to do, especially with cast your sacred symbols being out here. There's a mark that you're meant to leave, pile 3. There's something that you're meant to be known for, meant to introduce to people, especially since we had the card of vanity here, which speaks of the card of vanity, the energy of the vanity. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start from the beginning. Pile 3. The cards that you have here to define your energy are Liberator and Virgin. Liberator says freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. And the Virgin is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Like I said, pile 3, you guys are people who have freed yourself, or like have to fight against other people maybe often. And that's also evidenced in the fact that you have both the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords in your reading, the 2 cards of conflict. But in between those conflicts, you have the Six of Wands of victory, of overcoming. Then the Fool and the Nine of Pentacles. You guys aren't to be messed with, because there's a true sincerity in the things that you fight for. Your beliefs are your beliefs, and your belief is what strengthens you. If it's a faith in God, or if it's a faith in yourself, or a belief in yourself, you will get up, you'll fight for it, and you will shift and change other people's minds one day, pile 3. But it started with yourself first, especially since we have the back card here, which is a rebirth in consciousness. And then we even have the Holy Grail, which is inner discovery, finding sacredness, and you are what you seek. There's something in your reading, pile 3, that's also very divine. There's something here about being sacred, being divine, and having a rebirth in your consciousness, and coming into that and fighting for something of some pure ideal, or something that you really hold true in your heart. There's no coincidence that the energies that I channel were that of soldiers, a commander and an actual soldier, women soldiers who went and fought in a war. I don't know if you guys are like in the army, if you pick this pile, or if you might be thinking about going into an army. You could, one of the things was I hear is like you could be somewhere in Europe if you pick this pile, and you probably feel a strong drive to protect your homeland, to fight in the conflict that's happening here. But either way, if you pick this pile, there's something inside of you that's very strong, very revolutionary, and that's going to be expressed. Because I feel like a lot of you guys haven't stepped into this energy yet. You guys are not aware. I really feel like this is destiny. If you pick this pile, I think you're being clued into your destiny, to your purpose. There's something that you're meant to fight for, to free others from, to shift other people's minds and perspectives. You guys could have chose another pile as well. If you guys picked this, you probably picked another pile as well. Or if you haven't, then that's perfectly fine. But I just felt like I should say that. The energy here, pile 3, is very sacred, especially since I channeled a saint, Joan of Arc, and a warrior who's often held as a legend. 2 legendary and fierce women, Mulan, I think it's Fa Mulan, and Joan of Arc. Your star quality came about with you really realizing and really thinking about yourself and who you truly are. The recovery card speaks of like really freeing yourself from trauma, from past beliefs, and realizing that if you really sat and thought about your trauma and really processed it, there's a way you'll find the key will be handed to you through, here's God, making an appearance in your reading. Pile 3. Sky Father, Sky Daddy, crafting you this key to get out of your trauma. Only thing you had to do was ask and be open and willing to face it. And especially since you have the rebirth in consciousness, you don't really go anywhere new or like really become a brand new person or be reborn unless you're willing to face death head on. And that's something that's very important here about facing death. That's what Joan of Arc did when she went to talk to Charles VIII about joining the army. Was her a mere peasant going up to speak to the king, and in the way that she was able to like really get enlisted into the army and to take the position that she did, was she had to speak to Charles VIII and prophesy to him. Joan of Arc allegedly told the king things that he only whispered to God in prayer, as proof of her divinity, as proof as she is who she says she is. And that's part of the reason why Joan of Arc is also venerated as a saint, with someone with a very strong and pure connection to spirit. There's no coincidence that he's showing up here in your reading. There's something very deep and intrinsic in you guys. It could have also been in dreams or a vision that you have, something that just won't leave you. You're going to be called to do something very, very strongly in the near future if you haven't already, pile 3. It's going to be something revolutionary and something that you're very much going to be known for, about going into some sort of conflict, challenging other people, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, negative thought patterns. You having to like really engage in conflict and coming out victorious on the other end because you're pure of spirit, you're pure of heart. This is not only your star quality, but this is also your destiny, pile 3. Well, at least for I don't know if this is just for some of you, one of you, or most of you, but I'm going to say it. And if this is hitting you and tugging at your heart and you feel a stirring deep down inside, then know that this is you. But I don't know how many people are going to resonate with this pile. So we'll keep going. I'm going to read the Holy Grail to you guys. If I can find, I have the book all the way over there. Give me a second. All right, Holy Grail. The Holy Grail has been a mystery for thousands of years. Many believe that it was the cup that Jesus drank from at the Last Supper, or that was used to collect his blood at the crucifixion, while others believe that it was a person, possibly Mary Magdalene. It has also been described as a stone, a dish, and a cauldron. The energy of this card is strongly related to a physical space, which is the Chalice Well in Glastonbury, southwest England, which is a sacred garden where many go to connect with the great goddess and discover the mysteries within. As a gateway, the Holy Grail is the cup of our heart, which we can allow to be filled by source light so that we are overflowing with divine love. The energy that we are called into the Holy Grail is that the feminine energy of Source, the Shekinah, the fierce yet graceful light that inspires us to dance to the sacred rhythm of life. This gateway, therefore, encourages us to stop searching outside ourselves for truth and go within to realize that we've had everything we've been searching for the whole time. It's like inviting the divine in, but knowing that it was already there before we asked. You have been on a great quest, seeking, searching, discovering, but the further you've gone, the more your heart has called you back. You may still be looking for treasure, but you're now discovering that all roads lead back to you. The great source of creation holds up a shiny mirror in front of you, and you see your reflection. You are the answer. You are the divine. You are created. You are creating. The gateway of your divinity has opened, and the vessel of your being is flowing with infinite light. You have been searching for God, and God is within. So go within. This is the key to heaven. Your cup is overflowing. Your gifts are being unlocked. Let the world share your treasure. Very powerful. I love this deck. Very powerful. This is all about really realizing who you are, pile 3. Like, I can't shake it. This is your star quality, your star power, and this is how you shine. By realizing who you are and through that realization of who you are is going to have such a profound effect and inspire you to go out and help other people discover who they are, to really shift other people from one way of thinking to another. You have a very strong and divine mission, and I really think it's to communicate love into the world with the 8 of Wands and the Lovers here. The Lovers itself also speaks of a unification and a choice. It is the card of choice, but to me, I usually channel it as like unification of masculine and feminine energy, whether it's masculine and feminine energy in a physical sense or inside of you. And I really feel like this is both for you, both inside and eventually it's something that's going to happen on the outside. I feel destiny in this reading. That's right. What's this? Oh no. Okay. Yeah, no, it was this reading. Yes, it was this pile. Cause I seen the destiny, because this is actually the card that wanted to come out for this pile. I didn't take it out because, I was only limiting myself to 2. I seen it there. I wanted to grab it, but I didn't. I left it there. I even went and used the same deck for pile 4, but I didn't even get to shuffle the deck. Like, the card for pile 4 just flew out but this card stayed at the bottom like it was not going anywhere. This card was meant for your pile 3, the card of destiny. There's something sacred about your life and about your path that you're going to embark on. And you really might be doing this with another person, because the card of destiny is about these people who incarnated together, these people who share different incarnations together, these bound lovers, these people who are bound by love. And they don't always meet in every incarnation, but in the end, they're going to find each other. And there's something very, very strong and very sacred about this union or about this other person, pile 3, that you might end up meeting or that you might have already met. Like I said, I feel like some of you guys haven't stepped into this energy yet. If you pick this pile, you don't know this yet. You don't know this yet. Or some of you guys might just be coming into a closer understanding, or just might be, or at the very beginning of this understanding on your road to destiny, to your destined path. But there's something here that you and maybe another person is going to do together. Let me read the destiny card. Black is the shade that demands to be taken seriously, as it absorbs all the colors. Black emits the warm, powerful energy of the protector. Unlike black, white is isolated. Together they balance and create. You'll be guided by your angels to what's best for you and all concerned. Again, that duality, this balance here of of two people, of two conflicting and contrasting energies coming together. This could be about you inside yourself, or this could be about you and someone else. I'll read to you why I always channel the destiny as the soulmate card, because this is the legend behind the destiny card. Black and white are in heaven, waiting to go back to earth yet again to complete their work. When they meet and fall in love, they learn that they will not be together on earth. In previous lives, their love was ill-fated. They appealed to the council of great spirits, who turned down the request to be together. But the great servant appears and grants their wish. Together they accomplish greater things than they could have done alone. The inspiration behind this card is take a risk. Dare to have your life the way you decide. Are you willing to make sacrifices to have what you desire? That card of liberation here. To cast your secret symbols. What tools do I need to form my own destiny? Am I ready for my destiny? The key ideas behind the destiny card is true love, taking a stand, a positive omen, radical thinking, again, this liberation energy, deep satisfaction and ability to change. The meditation of this card is recall a time when you fought for something you believed in and won. Allow the feeling of triumph to filter through your body. See yourself before the council of great spirits. Make a request. They will grant it if it's for the highest good of all. They tell you your decision. Thank the spirits for their wise counsel. Relax in knowing that the council will confer with great servant for you. You are welcome to go before the council anytime. There's something very powerful here about about destiny, pile 3. And you're meant, like I said, I really feel like this pile is meant to be like a star in the world. Like, you guys are meant to be known. You guys are meant to be known. And at the end of it all, there's a very happy life for you at the end. But it's going to require a faith walk. And you probably going to have to walk this path alone for a while. Or you probably already have been along this path alone for a while. And when you meet this lover, this other person, your true love, the person that you're destined to be with, together you guys are going to make great and radical change in this world. And I really feel like the energy of this is like it's moving a little bit faster now, pile 3. I'm sorry, I hopefully you guys can read between the lines of this whole reading and know what your star quality is. I really felt like this is more like a message for this pile. Pile 3s has really been really off topic, but very powerful lately. But if you pick this pile, you have a destiny, a calling in this life. And it's part of your star quality and your destiny to be a force of change in not only yourself, but I really feel like this might really be like globally or like nationally or locally, but I feel globally. This is gonna be something big. I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind with imagination. This could be through art that you guys like work together and change the world, especially with Cash Your Sacred Symbols. Cash Your Sacred Symbols does talk about creative endeavors or whatever medium it is that you spread your message through. You guys could end up creating something together. You guys could be like artists, singers, whatever. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Something sacred about this pile. And death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. There's a great change that's happening, a rebirth in your life that either has happened, is happening, or will happen for you, pile 3. And you're going to step into your star quality, what you're meant to do and how you're meant to shine in this world. If you haven't already, because like I said, some of you guys could be at the very beginning of this energy. But like I said, I feel like some of you guys don't know this is destiny. And it's crazy that I've been channeling this card all along. I completely forgot about it when it come out. I didn't take it, and it found its way into this reading. It's funny how things work. So I'm going to pull 2 more tarot cards because I really spent a lot of time on this reading. Let's see what we get here. This one. The 7 of Swords. Yeah. This is going to be a tough road. People are going to be very resistant to whatever it is that you're going to be doing. I really feel like you guys are going to have to fight. Display your power, display who you are. Thank goodness this came out. The 10 of Pentacles. Like I said, this is going to be a happiness, a union between you and someone else. Maybe you and this other person going to start off not liking each other. That's one of the other things I really felt here. You and this other person might not like each other, especially with the fact that the Destiny card with white and black, every time they did have incarnations together, they never really got along. Even though they were meant to be soulmates and twin flames. They loved each other in the spirit, but in the physical realms, whenever they went back to Earth, they never got along. So they had to like really pray and like ask to like really love each other and get along. And in the next incarnation, they pleaded for that, for them to be able to get along. So yeah, this could be like between you and this person that you're destined to be with. You guys could fight, argue, not really bang with each other. May seem too different, but eventually you guys are going to come together. Yeah, 7s. And then at the bottom we have the Hierophant. This is a sacred thing. The 7 of Swords though tells me that this is going to be a tough calling. Like I said, when I channeled Joan of Arc and Mulan, Joan of Arc's story ends in her death. I don't know about the real story of Mulan. I don't know if it ends in her death as well, or she gets to just retire after what she did. But this is going to be a tough path for you, pile 1, pile 3. A lot of people get scared, like, oh, I don't want a big destiny, but suck it up. This is something that you're going to be meant to do, and I feel like some of you guys might be meant to do it, because this could be a calling that a lot of people hear, but it could probably only be like one person that steps up out of this whole pile that really chooses to embody their star quality and do it. Because remember, you guys do have free will at the end of the day, and you can choose to completely ignore those callings, the pushings of your spirit, and just remain complacent. But yeah, something here. There's a path that meant to be walked, filled with a lot of conflict, betrayal, and misunderstanding. And you having to really fight, because we have the 7 of Wands here. And even in this 7 of Wands, this person is kickboxing. He's kicking a punching bag with the wands in his hand. He's fighting. This is a path that's rife with conflict. Because changing people and changing the world isn't something that can be done with peace. This is something that's going to have require a battle with other people. But you guys are going to have a very stable and secure life at the end of this. You guys will have wealth to pass down to your generations, but between you and this lover, you're going to leave a mark on this world. That's what the Ten of Pentacles is. The Ten of Pentacles is a legacy. You're going to leave a mark. And just know that this comes from a higher place with the Hierophant card here. This is a very divinely guided mission. Your star quality that you embody here with the Liberator and the Virgin was instilled into your spirit before you even came back into this world, especially with the Destiny card. You're meant for this, Pile 3. So if this reading resonated with you, leave a like or a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you guys want to support my channel, the links to do so are in the description box. You can look there, donate, book a reading, whatever you guys feel like doing. Thank you and be blessed. Goodbye. If you chose this star card, Pile 4, then this reading is for you. So let me put this star card back just in case it wants to come out in your reading. And let's get into your star quality and how you shine. Let's take a look-see. Who are my Pile 4s? Who are you? I just heard that. Who are you? You guys had quite a number of cards here. So I'm just making sure I get everything out and settled. All right, Pile 4. The cards that really embody your star quality is the Poet and the Warrior. The Poet expresses soul insight in symbolic language, and the Warrior is strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. And again, with the Poet and the Warrior, with both the soul insight and conquering the ego, one of the biggest things that I'm getting here, especially since you have like the Temple of Secrets and the Consciousness card coming out in your reading, is you guys could be very much like isolationist type people, very much in your own flow and in your own energy. You guys could be very, very much dedicated to, your art, your craft, maybe even dedicated to meditation or to like really bettering yourselves. The thing is, though, with the Temple of Secrets, we have isolation, and the card of isolation came out again. So the fact that you guys might need more alone time than most other people is coming out heavily. I really feel like your biggest quality, Pile 4, is the fact that you're willing to like really go deeper and understand complex and spiritual things about yourself. Really get down to the core of who you truly are and manifest who you are into the world. Because the Poet expresses soul insights in symbolic language. So you guys, Pile 4, you guys might really be very strongly divinely inspired. You could be like, and I heard the name Cyrano. And I think Cyrano was a very famous poet. He really just like, I think he's the one that was whispering in the bush in the guy's ear so that way he can serenade a princess. I think that's Cyrano because it's serenade. So it could be Cyrano. I'm getting a strong sense like you guys are like heavily divinely guided in your artwork or whatever it is that you do. Because we do have the gifts from the past here. And some of you guys might not believe it, but we do have no bull. Like no bullshit. You guys are very divinely guided. If you do artwork or if you like an artist and you're like that eccentric artist who needs like time to like really be by themselves, to get into a flow, to produce the work that they produce, just know that your work is divinely guided. You've done this before. This is a gift from your ancestors, from your past lives. The work that you produce is very spiritually guided. And the fact that you go into isolation and you do that is just part of your process. It's part of your star quality. Don't think that you're some kind of weirdo because you need that time to yourself, because you often find yourself really being alone and like really just like allowing yourself to be inspired. And that's the source of your strength here. You guys have a deep well of wisdom and a deep well of insight inside of you, especially with the warrior card here, because not everyone is like really willing to sacrifice themselves in order to conquer their ego. That comes with a great deal of spiritual wisdom, a strong level of discipline and insight. And again, heroism. There's something about you and the work and the art that you produce, Pal 4. I'm just going to keep banking that you guys are like some kind of artists, poets, or writers. There's something about the quality of the work that you produce, Pal 4, that's very wise, that comes from a very deep place. It comes from Source itself with the Sun card here. It comes from Source itself. You guys are like really strong. I won't say really strong, but you guys are challenge yourself to become more and more connected. One of the things about the isolation card, though, and one of the things that I'm hearing here is make sure that you guys do actually like spend some time around other people too, though. You guys could be like very, very heavily introverted. And part of the thing here with the consciousness card about the self-awareness, personal realizations, and prejudice is that you really have to like change your views on other people. If you guys are like, the people that just have like a very small opinion of humanity as a whole, a cynical artist or something like that, but create very beautiful work, shift your perspective a little bit. Open yourself up to seeing the beauty of life. Like your work is divinely inspired, but you can also have a very strong influence on your work. And make sure that the work that you're producing is a little bit more a little bit more lighter in nature, because I'm feeling like the shadow aspect of the poet a little bit. The shadow aspect of the poet says turns a lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. Make sure that your work isn't too cynical. What I'm hearing for some of you guys who are writers, like maybe a little bit of satire is okay. Satire is okay, but make sure that you're not overdoing it with a cynical, critical analysis of, the condition of man or the human experience and things of that nature. I can talk to you guys as artists and poets. So make sure that you keep your light, the subject of your work positive. just for that. And in order for if that's something that you find hard to do, then you're meant to go out and have a little bit more experience with other people, because you could be a little too isolated, a little too connected to consciousness. And the Temple of Secrets does talk about actually having some practical work to go along with your spiritual stuff, discovering who you are not only on the spiritual but the practical level. And this warrior energy lends itself well to that, you guys. You guys can do this, and you will be able to achieve this if you take the set upon yourself on this new challenge of connecting to other people and connecting into the world in a more practical way, and not just through the spirit. We have the Knight of Wands with the Ten of Swords here, and like one thing about your energy and about the thing here is like you guys could like really be very. You can't rush your process. I'll tell you this right here, right now. If you guys try to rush your creation your creation process, Power 4, you're going to end up stalling and hitting a lot of walls. Because we have the Knight of Wands leading into the Ten of Swords, which lets me know, like, if you guys really try to rush and, like, really do things, like, quickly and fast, you're going to end up, like, really hurting yourself and tiring yourself out. Like, I'm really seeing, like, I'm sorry, I just like got really deep and intense ringing in like my left ear. Um, it was like very, very surprising and loud. Um, if you guys continue to try to move fast and rush your creation process, you're going to tire yourself out. Like, really make sure that you guys really do take the time with anything that you decide to do. And one of the things here that I'm seeing with the no bull is the no bull card also talks about not tolerating bullshit from other people. I could really see that you guys could be very short with other people. This is why you stay alone and stay isolated. You could be very short with other people. You probably really don't have time for other people's BS. Maybe you've been betrayed in the past, had a lot of really bad experiences, and you're not really with it. But I get it now. But with the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, it's time for you to get back in the saddle and really try to reframe your mindset, reframe your mind, release what happened, get over it, powerful, get over it, and get back out into the world to learn new skills. Be curious again about the other world. You need to search for muses. Find more muses out in the world. This can be something both spiritual and practical for you, powerful. If you guys have the means to travel, do it. If you guys can go to a park to talk to old people who are sitting down playing chess and ask them about their stories, or go to a retirement home and ask old people about their past. If you really decide to step out there and connect to the world, powerful, then the world will surprise you with a very beautiful thing. One thing that I heard when I was channeling the energy for you, Power 4, was if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you probably should at Magus Supreme, Magus underscore Supreme, and check the post that I posted for this date. Oh, that's right, for February 28th, because you guys could be watching it in the future. But check the post that I did for February 28th, because the message of the day is very much aligned with what's coming out in your reading, Power 4. I don't know, maybe you guys do follow me on Instagram, and this is why like the end message is being echoed, because it's talking to you, Power 4. But this is what I'm getting. Be curious and be excited about life and seeing other people's experiences, and be ready to I see this guy's really memorializing those experiences. If you guys are in fact artists, writers, poets, whatever it is that you do as a creative expression of who you are and a creative expression of your insights, of your soul, of your knowledge, of your wisdom, of who you are, it's time for you to go out there and seek new experiences, seek new muses, seek new things to be inspired by, Power 4, because it's out there for you. It might be a little bit tough for you guys. It might be a little bit of a hurdle, a challenge for you guys to really get excited, get curious about other people, to get out there. Because like I said, I really feel like you guys are very short. You guys don't really like dealing with other people in their BS, but you're being challenged to get out there and do so anyway. Power 4, you're being challenged to do it. And I feel like you guys aren't one to shirk from a challenge. You guys aren't one to say no to a challenge. So Spirit itself is putting this out here for you. If you want to shine, if you want to grow, if you want to increase your star power, increase your light, you need to go and seek new muses. Allow life itself to be your muse. The abundance of life. Because here we have the magician with the Wheel of Fortune. It's all in your hands, Power 4. You have the power. This is all up to you. About what you're going to focus on and what you're going to manifest and bring into your life. The divine is here, is ready. You are going to be very, very blessed in your artwork and the things that you do, Power 4. If you stay committed, if you listen to this guidance here and actually go out and find new muses and find new subject matter, make sure that your work isn't too cynical and too much of a critique. Make things a little bit more lighter in scope and nature, and watch how things change for you, Power 4. There's a big thing here about you guys being very serious, very, very strong doers, because there's strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. And that's very much the magician energy here. And that kind of energy, this warrior energy, is really going to lead to a lot of fortune, a lot of good things in your life. the strength of discipline, the toughness of your will, and just the general wisdom that you guys embody with this with the Magician card. So I'm gonna pull some oracles for you guys. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. This is about being judgmental. Like I said, you guys might really be real cutthroat with people. You might have to lessen that a little bit more. Be open to hearing other people's points of views, understanding other people as who they are. I possess gifts of the soul that benefits me and others, and that's why the poet is out here expressing soul insights in symbolic language. This is a confirmation and a reaffirmation that you guys do get really deep spiritual insight and inspirations. I keep hearing muses. The muses come to you. You get very deep downloads, and you translate those downloads into art, into writing, maybe even just like crafting tarot spreads or something. I don't know what you guys do. You guys could also be channelers. One of the things that I'm hearing, you can also channel energy and deliver messages that way and express it that way. But either way, I really feel like you guys are artists, Power 4. And if you're not artists, you should get into art. Whether it's like writing, creative writing, art like actual painting, drawing, sketching, graphic design, crafting graphic novels, making comic books. I don't give a damn, Power 4. You need to put your stuff into a symbolic, into an expression. You need to put into an expression. But part of this path is learning how to get along and increase your tolerance of other people. Because one of the things here is prejudice. Yes, because we have prejudice here in this card. Getting over the prejudices that you might have. Really opening yourself up to other people and to other people's experience. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Like I said, your guys' artwork could be a little bit more cynical, or it could have been a little bit more dark in nature. That's why I channeled the shadow side of the poet. Turns a lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. It's time to reconnect with the lighter side of life. I can't always expect truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Like I said, you guys probably had a rough experience in the past, but it's time to get over it, to move on, and to reopen your eyes and reapproach the world with curiosity, with the willingness to be open to it. I release my need to control, surrender to this message. You guys probably been resisting this for quite a while, been wanting to stay and be loners, hermits, isolationists. Come out of your cave, hermit. The muses aren't going to keep speaking to you if you stay inside of it all day. Allow the universe to be its muse. Allow yourself to get more dynamic subject matter, Power 4. Because you guys are beautiful stars. You guys get divine direct inspiration directly from muses, directly from spirit. That's your guys' star quality. That's your star power. Not only are you guys very disciplined in your ways, very strong in conquering your ego, but don't let all that work make you think that you're better than other people, or that it might put you on a higher pedestal or plane. That's one of the biggest things that you always got to make sure that you check yourself on. And in order to do that, you need to start connecting to other people in the world, Power 4. Like I said, if you haven't seen my Instagram post for February 28th, I suggest you read it. Knight of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and Death. With the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Yeah. This energy of being alone, feeling like you have to do everything by yourself, feeling tired and worn out and just cynical of the world, of people. It's time to let that energy go. It's time to let that die. Time to let it be transmuted and be rebirthed and reborn. It's time for a change, Power 4. It's time for a change. And this is how you can increase your shine and how you can really start to shine even more. So allow yourself to go through this change, Power 4, to be more curious and open about other people and really I keep hearing this, allow the world, the universe to be your muse. Allow life to be your muse. Because then we have the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Being more generous and open and giving and communicative of other people is going to bring you great success, powerful. I can't shake it. You need to really be open to talking to other people, of giving of your time, of even just sharing your artwork. If you're someone who just create and create and create and don't really put your stuff out there, it's time for you to be recognized for the things that you do, powerful. And if you are someone who puts your work out there but haven't garnered that recognition, you will. Just keep going and listen to this message and look for other muses and sources of inspiration. Don't allow your work to become negative and sour. Continue to focus on the lighter side of life and watch how your work take off, powerful. You guys are stars in and of yourself. You have such strong power that you create, that you translate into symbols, into words, into art, stuff that comes directly from source and stuff that comes from a deep wisdom that you built up through many past lives, powerful. This is a gift from your ancestors, from your past lives, from star beings. You've been gifted this ability to translate. I'm hearing pictomancy. Like, some of you guys might really be artists. Even though the poet is about language, I keep seeing an artist. I just keep seeing a pictomancer. Someone who does magic through their drawings. But you guys could very well be writers, or however you choose to define and create your art. The fact of the matter is, you need to keep sharing it. You need to share it with the world. You need to share yourself with the world. And you'll get the recognition and that you deserve and that you are meant and destined for, powerful. So if this reading resonated with you, please leave a like or a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And if you want to donate and give to my channel, the links to do so are in the description box as always. Thank you and be blessed. Bye-bye.